Hey everybody, DIY Coach Al over here, Lawn Care and Home Repair. And guys, I just wanted to give you an update. Well, update or just let you know something that's going on in my lawn. It's actually been going on for since I've been living here, and I don't know why, but I'm just really paying attention to it. So you guys know I did an renovation and an overseeding. We've had so much rain and moisture and stuff over here. The grass is actually looking good. Did have to deal with a little bit of that Pythium blight, like I said. But I noticed that there's a part of my lawn that just never seems to grow. What you're looking at over here is just some straw that I had to put on along the property line because when I did the renovation, that part just didn't come back the way that it should have. But I noticed it actually I noticed it last month, but I was waiting for it. I was thinking that the lawn was just doing thank you subscriber. Somebody said it's just called the sprout and pout phase of the grass when it's just not growing as fast as it did when it first germinated so quickly. But I realized that this section of my lawn has never gotten tall. And I don't know how that is. I've been over here for 4 years now, but it's just never gotten tall. And yesterday, I looked at it again. I said, well, let me double check to see if it's now growing because I just put a fresh mow on it a few days ago. And I said, this grass is actually the same height. What I thought I was dealing with is actually what I am dealing with. Even though I did an aeration, this part of the lawn is significantly compacted. And when your lawn gets compacted, it becomes hydrophobic. The water is not going to penetrate the air, the water, the other nutrients that you put in your lawn. It's not going to penetrate that level, that layer, or that grass in that spot. It's only going to go down very little. The grass will actually germinate and it'll take root, but it won't go deep. And then it dawned on me that this part of the grass always seems to go dormant earlier. And if there's a little bit of heat, it gets heat stress, then it happens over here first. So I decided to come out here and finally look at it. So I'm going to turn the camera around, let you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. Alrighty guys, so I had to come over here and see if in fact there's something going on with this lawn. Now, what you're looking at now, I had to put some more grass seed down, but I wanted to do the test, get a screwdriver and do a test, see if the screwdriver would go down in the lawn. And I knew I was going to buy a manual core aerator, and I did get one. That's it lying over there. So I did the test with the screwdriver to see if in fact this grass was compacted or if it was just an issue with me not doing what I needed to do to get it to grow over here. So I realized that it is actually compacted. Now, when you take a screwdriver, when I bought the manual aerator, this tool came with it, just like a screwdriver, but you should be able to put this, for grass that's not compacted, it should go all the way down. This is stopping right there. And that's about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 inches. And when I put it down there, I can hear it. Boy, right there it's even worse. I can actually hear it hitting against something. Sounds kind of gritty. One or two things that's going on right here. This big tree, I think it's an oak tree. This big tree, it's a very large tree. Excuse me, it's in my neighbor's yard. It's right here in our property line. And the roots, I've had issues with them before. We actually had to have a piece of it cut because it was hitting against my fence. But the roots of this tree are actually very, very long, very dense. That's actually the root right there. And then you come over and you see the root there. Now, whenever you have large trees, you can have significantly large roots. And whenever you have those roots that are closer to the surface, you're not going to grow any grass right there. Your grass definitely needs to have deeper soil so that it can establish a good root system. Now, if it's not the tree, then the other thing I thought was, well, it must be compacted. So I used the screwdriver or that tool right there, and I went out and bought a spike aerator and a core aerator because I wanted to see if in fact I could get some plugs, good plugs. When I did, and I'm going to be running the video as I'm talking, when I did the test, I couldn't get the core aerator all the way down. The plugs or the tines on this is about 3 inches. I could only get about an inch, maybe 2 inches high with the plugs, and it actually ran all from here to my fence all the way over here. And what I realized, I went ahead and then got a spike aerator because I still want, still doing some spot seeding over here. Yeah, that baby grass is definitely coming in. I got the core aerator and I also got the spike aerator, and this has 15 spikes in it. Now the problem is that I went ahead and did the spike aeration from here all the way over here. So I'm going to pause here, come back, and let you guys see just what went on with the spike aeration. But the bottom line is that from here in my yard all the way over to there to maybe over here where I had to do some repair right there for a little bit of fungus that I had, it's very shallow. And what I'm thinking is that if in fact I'm dealing with what I think it is, just hard clay soil, I'm not going to be able to get good growth over here. I expect that with this only allowing me to have a shallow root system, that I'm going to have to deal with just being able to get the grass to green up, but not to grow. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to go ahead and do the spike aeration over there. Then I will be right back. Guys, I came out and I did not only the spike aeration, but I did core aeration, and I came out and put some seed in, and seed is going to definitely fall right into those cores. I needed to do this because it was coming in thin over here, and I knew I was going to have to do an overseeding, but this was actually very shallow. I couldn't get those tines to go more than maybe 2 inches down here. So I'm just not expecting that I'm going to be able to grow grass over here. If you guys, I'm going to grow it, but it's going to grow, it's going to come up, and then it's probably going to continue to die. So this section of my yard is probably about I don't know, maybe a 200 square foot section altogether. So I'm just not going to get this to come in the way that I wanted to, but at least now I understand why I could not get the grass to grow over here. I did notice it the last 2 seasons, and I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and address it next season, which was last season. So I was going to be addressing it this season because I knew I was going to do a renovation. And no matter what I did, both grass cultivars, the Night Shift on that side and the Spreader Elite, the GCI seed over here, nothing that I do is actually allowing this grass to grow. But now I realize it's not that tree. It's actually because I have compacted soil over here. It's hydrophobic. When I did pull some cores up, I couldn't get any more than maybe a 2-inch core, and it was core, but it was totally dry, very dry. And for the amount of rain that we've had lately, there's no reason why this grass should not have grown if we had good soil. As a matter of fact, I've been dealing with the fungus because we've had just too much rain and everything over here. So at least now I know what's going on over here. So if you have spots in your grass that just doesn't seem to be growing, do that test to see if in fact you can get your screwdriver into the ground. If you can, if in fact you can get it in the ground but doesn't go too far, chances are you have compaction. Now, if the compaction is because of maybe the ground is just too compacted, then you can actually do a core aeration that will allow some of the air and the nutrients, the water and the nutrients to get into your soil. But if it's like what I think is going on over here, if you have that clay soil, then you're going to have to take some different measures. I'm just not sure at this point what I'm going to do to break this up. I do have some Moisture Max. I'll throw a picture up there. I do have some Moisture Max that I bought earlier in the year, and I'm going to throw that Moisture Max. It is a liquid aerator. I use the spike aerator and the core aerator to get some holes down. I'm going to try that Moisture Max to see if in fact it can get it a little deeper. So as I said, I'm just not expecting that I'm going to have much success with this part of the yard. But you know, guys, when we do our yard, the best efforts that we put in, we are still at the mercy of Mother Nature and basically what the land is giving us. I'm sure there are some things, you guys give me some feedback, some things that I can probably do that I haven't thought of at this point. But at least now I finally figured out why the grass has not been growing. So yeah, I put those cores in there and drop some grass seed down and filled in some other spots, like I said. So at least now, as I said, I know what it is. Yeah, so you guys give me some comments. Let me know what's going on. And over here, I'm still doing some of the spot seeding. And I put the hay down this time because we were expecting some really bad rain. And the seed that I planted, it's actually already coming up. It only took a few days, maybe 4 days to get this kind of germination. So I'm going to have to pull. I can just go ahead and take this hay up now because the worst of the weather has passed, and every place that we put the hay down, the yard is just growing really nicely. Y'all, that backyard is coming along really, really, really well. I'll be showing you all that next week. But yeah, like I said, if you're having an issue where your grass is not growing in spite of your best efforts, check to make sure you don't have compacted soil. It is common during the summer because of the drought conditions for the ground to get compacted. So you may, especially for those of you who are doing either your renovation or your overseeding, even if you put cores, if you use a core aerator, or a spike aerator. This time I use both. If your ground is compacted, you're going to get germination, you're going to get growth, but then it'll just stop growing. It's not the quality of the seed. It's not because you're not putting enough water down. But if you in fact have compaction, then there's not a whole lot that you can do outside of maybe getting taking it up to the next level, professional level, where you're, I don't know, maybe just kind of getting some more soil in your yard. You guys tell me what your thoughts are, because I really am not sure what to do. But I went ahead and put some more cores in here, put some more grass seed in here. And maybe if in fact it's not all clay soil all in here, maybe my efforts will result in some grass growing over here where it didn't before. Hey, you guys have an amazing day. Just wanted to give you an update. And if nobody else has told you, let me be the first to tell you I love you. And also I ask you to do something else for me. Reject hate, embrace love, seek peace, and go out of your way to help somebody if you can. God bless you.